Nicola, you're a big time gamer, and I'm excited to talk about your history of games, because I think does it start back with like the 8-bit consoles or 16-bit? Where did it all begin for you?
Oh man, way back. Because my mum actually used to play some of the games as well. So like she had a Game Gear.
Your mum had a Game Gear?
Yeah.
Best mum ever. Like,
I know, right? I know.
Do you remember what games she was playing?
She used to play Columns.
Okay.
So I got into that, and then Tetris with the Game Boy, and then I went the Mega Drive. Oh man, there's just so many games that I can talk about today.
I know. Well, we want to talk about all of them because this it's you know, I think Columns and Tetris, like, you know, they're still hanging around now. I think Tetris 99 came out recently, which is like a really popular like online Tetris version that's really done well online as well. So it's still a classic. It remains a classic. I remember on the Game Gear I used to have Jungle Book, was a big game for me.
Yeah, I liked that one as well.
And The Lion King was good. A lot of great games on there. But having a parent that games, it's quite rare. Did you know that as well growing up? You're like, this is cool, my mum plays games. Yeah.
It was so cool. So I was like, oh, Mum, you can get that one and then I'll get this one. But really, she was just getting them both.
And you were saying, like, apparently this game's really good, Mum.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, really, is it? And then she's buying it and you're playing it, which is great as well. Did you kind of like share it together, or was she very like, this is my time with the Game Gear?
Yeah, it was. When I'm ready. Yeah, when she had her time with the Game Gear, it was her time. I couldn't. You couldn't
talk to her.
Interfere.
She was
it was
get
like,
out of the room, Nicola.
Yeah,
I'm Game Gearing.
Yeah,
I like that.
Definitely.
Okay, she's committed. Commit to the game.
Yeah, you've got to be committed.
Yeah, you've got to be. I mean, with you, so you had a Game Boy.
Yeah.
What kind of games are you playing on that apart from Tetris?
Super Mario.
So good.
Yeah. God, there's
tons.
There's so many. Sonic for me was a big one on the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
Especially when I think it was Sonic 2 when they got Tails.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was cool because then you could play with somebody else as well, and then you could get like one of your friends to be Tails, and then he could like carry you over all the stuff. Yeah, it was cool.
I love how you said that. You'd never give a friend Sonic because you had to.
Oh
be
yeah,
I've
got to.
You can be the fringe character.
Yeah, you can help me,
and no one cares.
Yeah.
I used to love that as well. Yeah, because I think that was I think when Sonic came out, because I was a Nintendo kid growing up, and so I had like the Mario games and stuff. But my friend, one of my best friends, had a Mega Drive with Sonic, and I remember because Sonic and Mario were like these, like it was like head to head, the two big characters of these two main like platforms. And I remember when I heard about the cheat on Sonic, up, down, left, right, A, B, C, CDA, all the level access.
Yeah.
Game changer. I loved it.
That was
you could just fast forward to the end.
Yeah, straight away. No messing about. So I always used to get stuck on the water level. It always used to really wind me up.
The bubbles. They were few and far between.
Yeah. It used to annoy me. It really did.
It was hard. I think it was like
the struggle was real.
Was it Labyrinth World? Was it called? Maybe was it Labyrinth World with the
bubbles?
Yeah,
I think it was. Yeah.
Because there would be like, for a game that came out, the first game in the Mega Drive, that was a pretty massive game when you think about it.
Yeah, it was huge.
I think huge. Sonic this year, as of 2019, I think it's 25 years this year since it came out.
Damn.
So, wow, what a guy.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Doing well.
And there's a Sonic movie coming out.
I know, yeah. I'm glad they fixed the character, though, because...
That first trailer.
Oh, man. It was horrible. I
don't understand who made that decision to make him look like so awful.
Exactly.
It was. He had like a weird note. It looked nothing like the character.
Nah.
I think everyone hated it.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. I actually tweeted about it. Yeah. I was so annoyed. I was like, what have you done to Sonic?
This is a disgrace.
Yeah.
Your mum gets on the tweets too. She's right. I've got it on the game. It's awful. I mean, I think they've changed it now in a way that looks a lot better.
Yeah, it's loads better now.
Yeah, it looks right. I'm looking forward to it now.
Yeah,
Before I was thinking this is going to be awful, but yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, it's good.
That's really good. Are you a big movie fan in general? Do you watch a lot of movies?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Loads of movies.
What would be, if I said, Nicola, what's your top 3 movies of all time? What would I get? That's a big question.
Yeah.
Because people are like, there's so many.
Yeah, there is.
Same goes for games. If you ask someone what their top 3 games is, no, people find it really hard to list them.
Do you know what? I'd find it easier for me to list my games.
All right, tell me your games.
Yeah, has to be top has to be Final Fantasy.
Which one?
Played. Final Fantasy VII was the best one. But I don't know whether that's because that was the first Final Fantasy I played when it came out on the PlayStation 1. And I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved the story. So I'm really looking forward to the remake when that comes out.
I think it comes out March
next year. Yeah.
I mean, I remember the original had 4 discs. Yeah, and I thought, this game's huge. I'm excited.
Yeah,
it's massive.
It was big. It was big. I
great.
was I absolutely loved it. After that, I'd say I'll go with Call of Duty and Destiny, just because I like the.
Okay. I like where this is going. This is good. There's variety here, which I like.
Yeah, and then my third. We haven't seen an installment of this one for. Oh well, actually. All right, can I have two thirds? You
can have 2/3. So, so it's become a top 5, basically. A top five.
Yeah, top 5. So then we've got Resident Evil and Metal Gear Solid.
This is amazing because this is like you've got such a huge variety of games there. I mean, was it Resident Evil 1 or 2?
Oh,
3?
2. Yeah.
Did you play the remake when it came out this year?
Yeah, I did.
It was good.
Yeah.
I finished it as Leon, and I thought it was a great game.
Yeah.
But then going back and doing it again, who's the second character? I think is it Alice, or I don't know what the other character is, but I feel like I'm going to go back to it eventually, but I've had my fix. And Resident Evil 3 has just been released, announced as well. It's going to be released next year.
That's going to be good. That's
really good. So we've got a top 5. And just to recap here, so we're looking at Final Fantasy VII, number 1. We've got Call of Duty, a particular Call of Duty, or kind of all the games in one?
Yeah. Okay. Especially Black Ops when it's got the zombie modes and stuff. So I quite like that.
Okay. I like zombie mode too. This is good. Okay. We've got Destiny 1 or 2 or all Destiny?
All Destiny, yeah.
Okay. Expansion packs, that you've got the whole thing?
Yeah. I do like when you get to the part where you really do need a group of you to go in, and you're like, literally, you're going to be sat there for at least 6 to 8 hours.
The raids.
To complete the raids, yeah.
Okay. I love that.
It's horrible when you've got newbies and it's like, Guardian down. Every 5 seconds, you're like, oh my God.
A damn noob.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of people, I think you play Destiny, who actually do raids, who actually offer to get noobs,
they like coach them
games.
through. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But it is frustrating when you're kind of paired with someone you think you are useless.
Yeah, it is. I'm like, just stand over there in the corner, do not move.
Your light level's an embarrassment.
Yeah, stay alive.
Yeah. Then you've got Metal Gear Solid, and also what was the other one? Resident Evil as well. So I mean, that is a real mixed bag of games there. After the Game Boy and the Game Gear, did you kind of go straight into like a PlayStation, or did you go to like a Mega Drive? You said,
yeah.
And I guess you're playing all the kind of games from Sonic to what else? You playing on Mega Drive? Were you doing Golden Axe and Streets of Rage?
Yeah, Golden Axe. Yeah, Streets of Rage.
Okay.
Oh, that was a good one. Streets of Rage.
They've remade it.
I love that one.
Have they? Yeah, the new one's coming out. It looks really good.
Oh, sweet! I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, get that one.
Yeah,
100%.
that was good.
That's come out as well, but they've obviously from there kind of like, I loved Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. That was a great game.
Did you like that one?
I love that.
Yeah, that was all right. It wasn't on my top 10, but I liked it.
You appreciate it.
I liked
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're now, as far as I'm concerned, you're the gaming aficionado here, so I'm not going, thank you for saying so. And then you went to PlayStation or Xbox. Where did you go from there?
Well, I did go to PlayStation, but the only game that I played on the Xbox was Fable. So every time they had an installment of Fable, I was like, yeah, I'll get that. But apart from that, it was PlayStation.
Okay. Because I was the same kind of thing. I flipped and flopped between Xbox 360 and PlayStation 2, 3, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then I think for me, when I suddenly saw that Uncharted was coming out on PlayStation, I was like, right, for me, I've made my decision now. I'm going to go PlayStation at this point. But obviously next year comes out the PS5, and I think it's called the Xbox. The new one is Xbox X or Elite or something. I don't know. But it comes out next year, and I don't know what to get. I can't get both. That's greedy. I don't know what I'm going to go for.
I guess you could get both. I mean, I'm PlayStation all the way, so it's always, unless they bring out a Fable with that, then I might have to get an Xbox as well, just for that game.
What I'll do is I'll convince everyone that it's for research that I need both.
Yeah,
because I've got a gaming podcast.
Yeah.
I need both systems.
Yeah, exactly. You need to be able to test them out, see what they're like. The performance, the graphics. Convinced me.
And if anyone has a go at me for spending too much money on consoles, I'll blame you. That it's your.
I'll take that. It
was NICOLA Adams' fault.
Money well spent.
With you mentioned these different games, so like Resident Evil and that thing as well. How did you just find these games kind of like organically? Were you playing with them with friends? Like how did you find, like, for instance, the entry point into like Call of Duty, for instance? Were you playing online, or was it more for the campaign? Like, where did that love come from?
Yeah, so I liked the online aspect the most about it, especially in the zombie modes as well. And there's always little missions to do and stuff, and it's quite good because I've got like a group of friends that I generally go online with and game. So we'd like literally, we'll say we're going to be online at this time, and we'll go in and do the zombie mode, get the the highest level,
do the Easter eggs and
yeah.
That's great. Are they all in, like, fellow boxers? Like,
No.
Okay.
Some of them boxers. Joe Joyce is a big gamer.
Brilliant.
So I used to share a flat with Joe Joyce when I was at GB.
Oh,
because
really?
we were both gamers, so it was cool.
You had your little gaming den.
Yeah,
like set up your headsets.
Like literally, yeah.
I love it. That's brilliant. So I mean, because zombies as well is like, I mean, it's a shame this year in Modern Warfare it's not there.
I was gutted about that.
I know we've had a lot of we had Codename Pizza was one of our first guests on the show who's a big zombies kind of influencer. And yeah, the disappointment around that, it's a real shame that that kind of storyline kind of finished, and hopefully it will come back next year.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, yeah, because it's a lot of fun. Zombies is so great. And they can kind of go wild with different kind of, the game set in like, ancient, I don't know, Greece, and then it's suddenly in, kind of on the sinking Titanic, and it's all over the place.
Yeah.
So good, so much fun. But then obviously you've got the games like Metal Gear Solid you mentioned. I mean, that's a completely different genre again. Are you kind of playing those kind of adventure kind of first person games in your downtime away from when you're not competing online? You want some kind of, I want some NICOLA time. I'm just going to play this game and just grind through.
Sure.
Okay. And did you play all the games in the series, or just kind of stick with one particular Metal Gear game?
Oh, all the games. From
the PS1?
Yeah, from the PS1.
There was one on the Nintendo, I think. The NES.
Was there?
Yeah, like old school. You can find like a NES version, which was like a top down. It was good. It was good.
Oh,
I had it. Like I was a child. It was really good. But the newer versions, Hideo Kojima made these absolutely. I mean, they're the
his graphics were
his magnum opus of game. I mean, they're just beautiful games.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I mean, the storylines are completely bonkers, but still, it's okay.
Yeah,
because it looks great.
Yeah,
and that's the main
I think
thing.
that's what it was as well. I think there was one. I can't remember which one it was, but you had to go into the jungle and you had to use your sniper. And this guy was like hiding out and in camouflage and everything. And yeah, it was the graphics were unbelievable. Wow. Unbelievable for that one.
They really were. Oh, God, it's a great games. But I mean, the top 5 list there, as I said, like the variety in the games is phenomenal. So you will. Is it a case of if something looks like it's going to be up your street, you'll give it a go, or do you go on recommendations?
So I like role play games the most, I think. Just because you get to, it's almost like you being you, and then the choices that you make. I mean, that's why I liked Fable quite a lot, actually, because the choices that you make all have a different outcome on what happens in the game. So I quite like that. Like that aspect of it.
It's. I mean, there is something kind of like there is something that goes deep when it comes to game when you play like an RPG, because you do get to kind of dictate the story of your particular character, the way that you want it to kind of. I find it really hard. There's a game called Mass Effect. Do you remember Mass Effect?
Yeah.
And there was either you could be like, I think it was Paragon was like a good person, or Renegade was a bad person, and I had this constant conflict, like,
which
do I
one?
be a good person or a bad, or just kind of in the middle. Sometimes I'll be horrible to people, and then sometimes I felt I'm just going to be horrible to everyone and just be a pure renegade. And do exactly what I wouldn't do in real life.
That's what I did on Fable.
Oh, is it really? Okay, I love that. Okay, you went full on rage mode, like I hate everyone, I'm selfish, I'm just going to do what I want to do and just own this thing. So.
Yeah, it was good.
It was great. I love that.
No rules.
I loved it. But anyways, I mean, are you at the moment as well? I guess you're still gaming now. What are you playing at the moment?
Yeah, Call of Duty right now.
Okay,
that's my latest one.
Yeah. What do you think of the new Modern Warfare? Are you quite into it? Or?
Yeah, it's really good. I particularly liked the London
Piccadilly Circus.
Yeah. Oh man, it looks so real. Yeah, it's so cool.
It really is like just seeing the kind of like the illuminated billboards and stuff. It feels really iconic, and they've captured it brilliantly. Yeah,
they have. They've done really well. I was impressed.
Yeah, I think they've got. Really they've done really well with that. But
I felt like the campaign should have been a little bit longer though, because I kind of, when it finished, I was like, I just want a little bit more. So. But yeah, it was good. It was good.
When I mean, going back to obviously your incredible career in boxing, were you finding time to game whilst competing and things and training as well? Was it did it kind of coincide with your kind of your boxing regime and like your day to day? Was there time to game daily, or how did it work?
Yeah, definitely. I always made time for gaming. So it was like literally I got a bit of downtime and it'd be like, right, okay, I'm gonna go in and do this part on the game, or if I'm stuck somewhere, I'm gonna go research this and see how I'm gonna get out of this situation. Like my whole world pretty much revolved around gaming in my downtime. But it was good to be able to take my mind off things and concentrate on something else. I think even on my way to the competitions, I'd have like little games on my phone. I'd have like a brain train game. I'd go through that.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. So I guess it's a way that you de-stressed in some ways as well.
Yeah.
Did it ever make you even more enraged though? Playing like these games can make you very ragey.
No, I was.
No, okay.
Yeah, I was all right as long as there was no noobs about before competition. Then I was all right.
We've heard it from an Olympic champion here, guys. If you want to compete at the highest level and do the best possible, you got to coincide with some gaming in your life. That's how it's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Is diet really? I mean, it must have been hugely important when you were kind of competing as well.
Yeah.
Were you very strict? Were you eating daily as well?
Yeah. So we had a nutritionist, and then meals were delivered as well. So it we didn't have to think too much about what we were eating. The nutritionist had already planned everything out. So you had like. For me, because I was a lighter weight, my meals were quite small in comparison to Joe Joyce's, which his stuff almost filled the whole fridge, and I'd have like one little section at the bottom where every day all my meals for the whole week would just fit into that one section.
Oh my gosh! Is it very like how controlled? Do you ever get like cheat days, or is it kind of every day is kind of you have to be as on it as you have to be to?
Yeah. The only
results?
time really you'd get cheat days is. After competition, really, unless you're a super heavyweight, and then you get to eat
just
what you
shoveling.
want. Yeah, but it's tough because it is a weight control sport, so we don't really have that many carbs. So it'd be pretty much protein and vegetables, and you're lucky if you get a little bit of carbs, just depending on what type of training you've got coming up in the day.
Gotcha. Because I tried going vegan this year. I failed. It was I did like a month. It was just too.
It's quite hard, isn't it?
It was
quite
hard. Now, people are telling me that keto is the way forward.
Yeah, I used to do the keto diet as well, training.
Did it work?
That works. Yeah.
Okay. Because apparently it sheds quite. You can shed. It helps shed weight, and
it does.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
As long as you're working out at the same time.
Yeah, it's tough though. If you're used to having carbs and then all of a sudden not having carbs, like you will get like a crash where you're really tired all the time, but then your body starts to get used to it.
Okay.
So I'm just
I'm finding out a lot here.
The heads up.
Thank you.
But it works. It does work.
So maybe wait till after Christmas. Maybe wait till okay, that's fine. Yeah. I thought that as well, personally. But it fascinates me because obviously the illustrious boxing career that you've had, like was 2012. London 2012 was obviously a massive year for you, for the country as well. Like London, it was an amazing time to be here in the country.
It was unreal.
It was. I remember the streets, people were just cheering, and everyone was so involved in the whole thing. Because in Stratford as well, which is obviously close to, in London, where we spend a lot of time. It was everyone was buzzing. It was a great atmosphere here. What was it like competing there as well?
Oh, unreal. I mean, the support that we had from the nation was unbelievable. It was more than you could have asked for. Everybody went in. All the athletes went into the games expecting there to be, a bit of support, a little bit of buzz. But man, the whole country just lit up.
It erupted. It was, and it must have been. Were you the first female boxer to ever win a gold medal? Wow. I mean, that is an accolade that's going to be around forever. It's how did it make you feel at the time? Was it quite overwhelming, the whole thing? Was it kind of, did you kind of just take every step as it came? How did it feel for you?
Well, when I won, I was literally just thinking I want to win a gold medal, and then it wasn't until after they were like, "Oh my God, you made history, and you've done this, and it's the first one." I was like, "Wow!" Like it did take a few days for that to sink in. Like, holy shit, look what I've just done. I'm a champion.
I'm an Olympic champion. That must be the most unbelievable feeling. I mean, it's one thing, I guess, winning a belt of some sort, but actually to win a gold medal at an Olympic Games it's a very rare thing to accomplish, I guess, in a career. Would you say it was the highlight of your boxing career, or was it others that kind of came close or topped it?
All the other medals came close, but I mean, to win a gold medal in your home country as well, like there might not be another Olympics for another 40 or 50 years in London. So to be able to think that when it came to London, it was the first time ever women's boxing was in the Olympics, and I won the first gold medal. So it's hard. It's a hard one to top.
It is. Are you still very much involved in the sport? Do you have a lot of people that you kind of still speak to who are competing regularly in boxing as well?
Yeah, definitely. I still speak to everybody in boxing. Boxing's still going to be a big part of my life. I love everything about boxing, so I'm definitely going to stay in touch with everybody. I see everybody down at GB every now and again, so it's good to catch up.
Did you ever play any of the boxing related video games, like things like
Fight Night?
Did
you?
You?
I'm like, why is there hasn't been another Fight Night? I can't even remember when the last Fight Night was. Like I was.
Yeah, it was a fair few years ago.
Yeah. It's been a while.
They were very popular for a while actually. The Fight Night games. Really, I think they've got the UFC games now, which are nowhere near as good. Really, Fight Night was a one that people genuinely had a lot of love for.
Yeah.
And were
because it was quite easy to play as well.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
but the UFC is a little bit more technical.
So I can't get my head around like the moves and like the grapples. It feels a little bit alien to me playing it. But Fight Night, was pretty straightforward. I think one of the games I remember being a kid as well, growing up, was it Punch Out? I think was a kind of a game that came out on the Nintendo, the NES, and I want to say it was called Punch Out, and people went wild for this thing because it's one of those games that you could complete on because the NES games were so hard, to finish any of them. But this one was actually one that you could almost kind of speed run and get to the end. It was a great game. I want to say it was Mike. I think it was Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was Mike. But it's old school Nintendo. But yeah, obviously you're playing these games on the road. I mean, are you able to actually finish campaign video games that you're playing as well, like these big adventure games? Like you mentioned things like Final Fantasy, you're looking forward to playing. Did you actually get a chance to finish any of these games?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I finished them all, and then with those ones as well, I'll like finish it all by myself, and then I'll go through and complete it again, but with all the bits that I missed out.
Oh really? So back and did it again?
Yeah, so I'll go online, look at some of the YouTubers' videos, and like see where I missed things, or like I could have picked up a special weapon and just go through and just completely smash it.
Are you someone who is going through tutorials online trying to find out how to get past bits as well?
Yeah, for real.
I'm that person too. I kind of let myself. I don't know about you, but I let myself kind of get to a point where if I haven't done it by a certain amount of tries, I say, do you know what? I've got to just look this up because there's got to be a way around it.
Yeah, for real. Otherwise, it like disturbs my sleep.
Yeah.
I can't go to sleep unless I know what to do.
You just lie there at night thinking, I don't know how I'm going to get past this boss. How am I going to do this thing?
Yeah.
Gosh, was there any games that have stood out to you that have been the hardest kind of game that you've ever played? Like things that like people say like Dark Souls is a really tricky game.
Yeah.
Anything for you that you've stood out and thought that was the one that really got into my soul?
Yeah, when I was younger, Earthworm Jim.
Oh my god!
It really used to bug me. Yeah,
that was great. That was like a what you like a worm,
platform,
like a space suit.
Yeah.
The premise was pretty bizarre, but at the same, I think it was like a spacesuit fell from like the sky and it turned you into a superhero, and a worm happened to get in, and Earthworm Jim was born.
Yeah,
they were great. I remember how colourful that game's on the SNES and the Mega Drive were.
Yeah, it looked really cool.
Looked really so cool.
And but it was hard.
It was hard. They made like a cartoon out of that, I think, as well.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
like a cartoon. Have you ever got into? Are you when you're on the road and stuff as well with your training and such? Were you taking like a Switch or a 3DS or anything with you as well, like gaming, kind of handheld gaming as well as like mobile phone stuff?
Yeah. I had I think it's not the Game Boy Color, it's the one after that, I think.
Game Boy Advance?
Might have been, yeah. Okay. I have I used to play Professor. It was like a brain, puzzles kind of.
I know exactly what you mean here, because I think they're going to bring it back. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, Professor. I forget, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
My mum bought a Game Boy. I think it was a game. Is it a Nintendo DS? We bought one of those consoles. She bought one of those consoles just for that game.
Yeah.
And I thought, you've been suckered into buying a console or a handheld console to play one game. And I thought the advertising's worked. Have you been drawn in by the Fortnite movement that's happened in the world? Have you kind of found yourself playing Fortnite as well?
Yeah, I have, but I don't know. It's just I like it, but I haven't been able to get into it as much as Destiny and Call of Duty. I think they're my top two.
Is it the building element is a bit of a nightmare to get your head around, isn't it?
Yeah.
It seems I can't seem to ever build as quickly as somebody else.
Yeah, it's like you're like.
I think it's my reflexes are burnt out. I've got no reflexes anymore.
Then it's like literally. I mean, like sometimes I'll you drop from the sky and you go down, and then sometimes I'm dead before I've even found a weapon. I'm like, what?
That is annoying. That is really annoying. I have found though, playing, because I've always been a console player like yourself. Like, I've always I had a PlayStation predominantly, so I've been playing on that. But I've recently started playing on PC with a controller, and I am far better on that.
Oh, damn.
I don't know why. I think it's like the frame rate or something. Or they put about ping and frame rates and it being quicker. For whatever reason, I'm better playing on a PC with a controller than I am playing on PlayStation. I have no idea why.
Yeah.
Bit of a weird one, that.
Oh, wow.
Have you ever been kind of drawn into the PC gaming world, or are you kind of like, I ain't touching that?
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
not for me.
I've thought about it, but I don't know. It's not as portable as my PlayStation is. That's the only downfall for me. It'd have to just. I mean, it'd be a lot to take around.
This is true.
Every time I want to go somewhere.
Like a giant PC set, just carrying it around.
PC.
So, hey guys, just carrying my massive 50-inch screen. Yeah, exactly. God, did you take your PlayStation on the road with you when you were boxing as well?
Yeah. Okay. So I actually bought I think it's called Games. It's like a portable set, so you put your PlayStation in. They actually do it for the Xbox as well. And you can put that in there, you open it up and it's got a screen, so you don't even need a TV for it. You just literally open it up, screen's there, just power socket, boom, you can go. Like a magic briefcase with just everything. It's
this
made
sounds
it
amazing.
It's made it like handheld almost.
Well, can you check that in at an airport? Is it like hand luggage?
Hand luggage, yeah.
That's amazing. You can bust that on a flight.
Yeah. If I had a power socket, I would. Actually, do you know what? Because I just don't know whether it'd be strong enough, but I'll have to try that next time.
Yeah, give it a go.
Yeah.
Do a test. Record it, make a YouTube video.
Yeah.
It could be a thing. It could be a big thing. It could pop off and go viral.
It's gaming in the skies.
Gaming in the skies with NICOLA Adams. I like that. That could be a TV show. Who are we kidding? No, that's great, because I think with playing games these days as well, with the likes of Fortnite and such as well, I find it's all down to reflexes. I mentioned reflexes. That's why younger kids, I think, are doing really well in these games.
Yeah.
But being a boxer, you are lightning quick. Do you think that's played a part in you being better at games than the average Joe playing as well?
Yeah, I think it has, because you have to have really good hand-eye coordination when you're in the ring. You're always reacting to what somebody else is doing. So punch comes at you, you're like, oh. Yeah. So I guess it does, gives you fast reactions on the games.
Yeah, that must be an advantage. There must be an advantage there anyway, like hand-eye coordination, as you mentioned. There's got to be some kind of way that you kind of do have a bit of a head start other people who are kind of because you've been practicing that all your life.
Yeah, definitely. I think with the shoot 'em ups like Call of Duty and Destiny, I guess you find out what your real skills are, like what your real talents are. Like I like to, on Call of Duty, I'm more of a camper. I like to just sit back and pick people off with the snipes. As they're going through. I'm like, yes. they don't even know where that. Yeah.
I love that. I'm so down with a mini cheer. Yes, you did well. Great. Good job, you. I like that self-motivation. That's what it's all about.
Real,
so it's all about. Yeah, we need that in the ring as well. You need to kind of believe in what you're doing.
Exactly.
In winning. Do you kind of visualise when you're in the ring? Do you kind of visualise the win? What was your mindset going into kind of fights as well? Is it the same kind of premise that you would kind of just visualise walking away as a champion, or how was it for you? Yeah,
I always visualise winning. I never think about losing, because I feel like if you're thinking about losing, you've already lost. You want to stay focused and positive the whole way through, and walk into the ring. Then I'm just thinking about my tactics and what I need to do in the ring. Do you think, recently AJ fought against Ruiz in the rematch. Do you think coming from a loss, coming back to a lot of people talking about coming from a loss, then going back into a rematch like that, is it quite hard to get over that mentally as well? Like that kind of like having taken that hit in the first matchup. Is it easy to turn it around and focus, or is it always playing a part somehow? I think it is if you stay focused and dedicated. I had to do the same thing in the finals of 2012. The Chinese girl, Ren Kankan, beat me 10 weeks before in the World Championships. Wow. So I had 10 weeks to make a difference, turn things around and win the gold. So I know exactly where Anthony was coming from, and I knew he was capable of winning. Yeah. He should have done that the first time, but I think he just got too caught up, too involved. Yeah. Ruiz is a big puncher, he's heavy-handed. and all you need to do is stay away. My coach always used to say to me, you can have the power to knock the house down, but if you can't hit the house, what's the point?
Yeah.
So, a boxer like that, I've been up against boxers like that, you just move, make it easy.
It just felt like in the rematch, AJ just had the tactics down, really, just keeping him at bay, winning the round on points, and he was happy to do so as well.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not about, getting the big knockout victory. It is just about winning.
Yeah. It sets up a good year ahead, 2020, with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Yeah. It could be. I'd love to see an AJ Wilder match. I think everyone wants to see that. Really,
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
I'd also love to see the Fury just because the build up. It'll be hilarious. It'll be so funny. It'll be, I can just imagine already what the build up to that fight will be like.
Fury has the chat he's got, and the banter with his. I mean, it's such a funny watch as well. It's really entertaining. But I think I read this morning apparently that Joshua Anthony's just saying he's going to be some kind of sparring partner of Tyson Fury's ahead of his Wilder fight, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing as a potential challenger for future.
I don't think he's gonna. He said he would.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like it'd be. I mean, if he's gonna box Fury in the next few months, I can't see them sparring. You can learn so much from a spar, even though it's not the same as an actual competition. I used to pick up so much from learning things when we used to have training camps with different countries, and just the little faults, the little flaws. You try things out. Let me see if they're like body shots. Let me see what happens if you hit them really hard. And see what the reactions are. What winds them up. You can learn so much from sparring.
And you know that something would happen when they were sparring. Something would happen.
Yeah.
There'd be a clash.
Yeah.
And it would just kick off.
And the way our Tyson is as well. He's going to try something. Yeah.
Absolute wind-up merchant. Absolute wind-up merchant. I mean, Wilder, I'm looking forward to seeing, because everyone says he can punch like nobody else. Every round, despite him losing, I think his last match as well, he was he was down on the cards and suddenly came back with just a killer punch, which just knocked the guy out, and that's what he's capable of, I guess. As well.
That's the difference. He's always got that one shot that can just take you out. Whether he's losing or not, that one shot can just finish you. Yeah. I mean, the way that Tyson Fury got up from that, I didn't think he was going to get up. I was just like, that's it, it's done, and it was unreal. Unreal.
I mean, I saw the aftermath of the Ruiz Joshua fight recently, and I think he was saying that because he obviously became world champion, as he did, and I think he said that he kind of spent 3 months just living the dream, buying Rolls Royces and kind of going wild and partying constantly. Is there an element? Does that kind of stuff get to your head? When you were kind of Olympic champion, when you were you had all these medals and these accolades. Is there a part of that where you kind of let that get over? You go into every ring being almost overconfident because you've done so well, or do you always have to kind of bring yourself back down to earth again because you don't want to get ahead of yourself because it's kind of like a flaw in your kind of armor, if you will?
Yeah, exactly. I was the type of person where I never wanted to underestimate my opponents, so I was always nervous for every competition I had, and it was a good thing for me because I knew that I was taking my opponents seriously and I wasn't underestimating them, because that's the worst thing you can do. I think every person that underestimates their opponent always ends up losing. Always. You just can't do that, because your opponent has nothing to lose and everything to gain. Yeah. If they lose, it's okay. I lost to the champion. If I win, hey, the top of the world, like Andy Ruiz was. So
yeah, when you have 5 weeks to prepare for a fight, I guess AJ was not really. You imagine he was thinking, okay, here comes, and I think Tyson Fury described him as a chubby fat pig, and okay, a bit harsh, it's just, but he comes in, no one's expecting anything, kind of big from the gun, and suddenly he kind of knocks out AJ, which is, I guess that is a classic example of you could potentially underestimate someone, not thinking, don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you pay the consequences, basically.
Exactly. Anthony should have probably known the Mexicans are tough. They come to fight and they don't always look like they're in really good shape, but you better believe in the gym they work really hard. Yeah. I was over training in America with Virgil Hunter, and anytime they come, the Mexican guys come into the gym and they spar, it's a toe-to-toe war, and you see the guys and you're like, man, 2 rounds, he'll be tired. Nope, is still there. The way that Ruiz got up in the first fight after quite a heavy knockdown, most of the time when Anthony hits somebody with that kind of shot, that's it, the fight's over, and he just got straight back up, and it was like, oh, like, it's on.
I saw a great documentary about it, actually. I think the BBC put it together. It was like that fact that in that same round when AJ got caught and the kind of discombobulated fashion that he couldn't kind of get his legs straight again. I mean, that must be really frustrating as well for a fighter when you just cannot, even though you're kind of completely conscious, you just cannot get yourself back together again, because that one punch can change everything. Yeah,
definitely it can. I mean, luckily enough, I haven't been in that situation where I'd ever been on the canvas. My coach was a great believer, in hitting and not getting hit, and I actually don't like getting hit. So I was like, "Ow, this hurts. Okay, I'm gonna move." I was one of the type of boxer where if I get hit with something once, you won't hit me again with it. Which was I always found frustrating for with some fighters where like they'll get hit with the same shot every time, and I'm like, why don't you just put your hands up? Yeah. It's not rocket science. You just move your head a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, gosh, yeah. Well, you're learning I guess you're learning. It's a constant learning process, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every fight is different. It must be it fascinates me. It's really, really interesting. Did you kind of watch any of the Logan Paul KSI kind of stuff unfold as well online? Like, there's obviously these two huge YouTube stars that put together one of, I think, the most viewed boxing match, I think, around the world. I think it was online.
Damn.
I don't know if you did you keep tabs on any of this at all?
I heard about it. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think obviously Eddie Hearn.
I figured it'd be quite novice, which I'm sure it probably was, because they don't really have much boxing experience. I was like,
it's a bit like, not really for me, not really that interested. But I think, I mean, it was interesting from a boxing standpoint, I think, as well. Like, the kind of the now the YouTuber culture or influencers are kind of putting together with the fan bases they have.
I mean, it makes sense for a promoter. It's going to make money.
Yeah.
And that's what promoters are in the business for, making money. So I
think Eddie Hearn, I think, is the promoter for AJ's fights, at least, anyway. And here he is promoting this fight, and everyone was, I think, at first thinking, what are you doing this YouTube fight?
Yeah.
But I think
it's about the money. I think the first fight, they pulled in $1 million, I think, for the first fight. So obviously, if I was him and I'm a promoter and I'm like, well, yeah, let's put you on a bigger stage and I'm going to make a bit more money out of you. Like,
here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it was an amazing thing. Obviously the entire world were kind of on bated breath to wait and see who actually won it and things. And KSI walked away as the victor. So I don't think anyone really saw it coming, because here we are, Logan Paul, big guy. Once again, I guess similar to AJ and Ruiz. A big guy who looks like like an Adonis, I guess, to look at. But then again, and KSI looked great too. But I guess technically, he kind of had the upper hand and won it. So anything can happen in boxing.
Yeah, exactly.
Boxing.
You can never judge a book by its cover in boxing. You really can't. You really can't.
Tell me about next year, 2020, and tell me about games that you want to play next year, what you're excited about. You mentioned Final Fantasy VII. The remake is looking amazing.
Yeah.
Any other thing that on the horizon you're looking for, like The Last of Us 2? Or...
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Really looking forward to that. I've actually started playing the old one again, so I'm ready. For when the second one comes out.
It was so good though.
It was.
I mean, that kind of. Would you say that were you playing Tomb Raider and those kind of games
as
well?
Tomb Raider.
Okay.
And the PlayStation 5. I'm waiting for that as well.
The PS5. I mean, they've released some kind of footage of stuff that's coming out on those consoles, and it looks unbelievable. I don't know how much more lifelike it can look at this point.
I know. Yeah.
It just always. They somehow managed to always up the ante. But I don't know where they can go from here. And it feels like it's almost real.
For real. It probably will be like real life at some point.
Yeah.
You just get these characters.
Yeah. Will you be there day one getting one of these consoles and kind of jumping straight in?
For sure. Okay. For sure. Pre-order. Okay. Yeah.
Pre-order.
Yeah.
I like it. We'll have to wait and see maybe there'll be a fight night that comes back. There's all different things that are possible that come back on this as well. But I think Resi Evil 3, obviously, we're both definitely keen for. And there could be a Destiny 3. There could be obviously the new Call of Duty. There's a lot of things to look forward to. I think you and I should exchange gaming details and we should team up.
Yeah, for real.
Do you play with the community at all, your fans and stuff? Do you play with them regularly, or is it just your mates you play with?
No, I play with everybody, as long as they, decent
Not
level.
noobs.
Yeah, no noobs. No
Okay,
noobs.
okay. We'll team up, you and I. We're doing
Yeah,
zombies.
sweet.
We're going Easter egg hunting.
Nice one.
It's happening.
I'm down.
Nicola, thank you so much for coming on the show. And all the best for the future. And I'll see you online.
Thank you.
Cheers.